Hello everyone, we are doing another Game of Thrones video, and today we will be talking about the 3 new prequels currently being developed at HBO. Thanks to Culture Crave for this graphic, link to their stuff will be below. So the 3 new prequels that have been announced are 9 Voyages, which will be about Corlys Velaryon and his many great adventures to Essos. Flea Bottom, which we don't know exactly what it will be about other than it being in Flea Bottom. It could show different POVs of events that happen in Game of Thrones, or it could be about cutthroats and whores. And 10,000 Ships, which will be about Princess Nymeria and her leading the Rhoynar from Essos to Dorne. This prequel will take place about 1,000 years before the events of Game of Thrones. Personally, I am most excited about this one because there will be blood. There is going to be a lot of war that will occur in 10,000 Ships. Which one are you excited for? Leave it down in the comments below. So as you can see, there could be up to 6 prequels, 7 if you include Robert's Rebellion, happening in the near future, which I'm super excited for. They said they wanted to do a cinematic universe in the world of Westeros, and they are going for it. I'm going to go into further detail with the 3 newly announced ones. If you want more info on the other ones, I have done videos on them. Link will be in the description below. 9 Voyages will follow Corlys Velaryon and his 9 expeditions to Essos. Corlys Velaryon might sound familiar to those who have seen my previous videos because he was cast in House of the Dragon not so long ago. But 9 Voyages will take place much earlier before the events of House of the Dragon, and they will have to cast a younger actor. I do find it quite strange that they are going to have 2 shows running at the same time with the same character, but hey, if they're good, that's all that matters to me. As some of you may know, House Velaryon is the richest house in Westeros and has the biggest naval fleet in the time of House of the Dragon. 9 Voyages will show how they acquired that wealth, so in a way it is Corlys' backstory. Corlys is the greatest adventurer that Westeros has ever known. He once tried sailing beyond the wall, but that attempt did fail. He sailed to Asshai, and he was the first Westerosi to sail to the Thousand Islands in the Shivering Sea. The Thousand Islands is a very strange place. The people who inhabit the islands have green-tinted skin and are hairless. They are said to sacrifice sailors to their fish-headed gods. The only info we have of Corlys' trip there is that he reached them, and then he turned back. He also sailed to Lys, Tyrosh, Myr, Yiti, and Lang. Through his adventures, he gathers a lot of gold and treasures he can trade, like silk, spice, and jade. So the show is going to be an adventure show. We're going to see a lot of places we only heard about in Game of Thrones, and get to see a lot of different places we haven't seen yet. To me, this is going to be a mix of a pirate and Indiana Jones show, which sounds awesome to me. The next prequel is 10,000 Ships, and it will be about Princess Nymeria, ruler of the Rhoynar. Rhoynar is a race of people. Nymeria was known for her beauty, and while she is known as the warrior queen, she never bared arms, but she did command her armies, leading them in the battlefield. This takes place way before Aegon's conquest and before the doom of Valyria. Nymeria ruled in Isar, which is in Essos. During this time, 3 dragon lords of Valyria teamed up with Volantis to hinder the Rhoynar in trading. The Rhoynar nobility, including Nymeria, decided to join in a great alliance to fight against the Valyrians. This ended terribly. They did defeat the 3 dragon lords, which was quite the accomplishment, but in response, Valyria sent 300 dragons against them. The Rhoynar army was smashed. Prince Garin, who led the army, was captured, and the survivors were taken as slaves. Nymeria, still in Isar, learned of this, and instead of waiting for the same fate, she took the remainder of the Rhoynar people and put them on the remaining ships and sailed off. This is where the show gets its name, 10,000 Ships. Most were women and children, since most of the men perished in the war with Valyria. They sailed for 3 years looking for home, and many deserted her as well during the 3 years of wandering. She finally settled in Dorne and married Morris Martell. The Martells at this point did not rule Dorne. After the marriage, Nymeria declared Morris the Prince of Dorne, and they started to conquer the rest of Dorne. So this prequel is going to have a lot of war and bloodshed. We are going to get to see a lot more of Dorne, which we really never got to see in Game of Thrones, so it should be interesting. I'm curious when they are going to start in the timeline. I'm guessing it will start in Nyssar, and we will get to see the Valyrian War, which I really want to see. 300 dragons versus an army. That sounds awesome. And the next prequel is Flea Bottom. For those who don't know, Flea Bottom is the poorest area of King's Landing. A bunch of unsavory people reside there, from whores to cutthroats. There really isn't any info on what the show could be about other than it being in Flea Bottom. It could take place during the events of Game of Thrones, and we could see a peasant's point of view of the events that occur, which I think would be cool. It could be about a cutthroat like Carl Tanner.
I was a fucking legend, Ginelli. A fucking legend. I would take any night, any time.
Jin Alley is in Flea Bottom, by the way. It could be about a whorehouse and some of the High Lord clientele that comes to take part. It could take place during House of the Dragon, and once again we see a different POV of the events happening and get cameos from the House of the Dragon cast. I was thinking it could be a comedy as well, not a serious drama, which I think would kind of work for the show. It would be different, which I think would be a good thing. So what do you guys think of the new prequels? Are you excited like me? Leave it down in the comments below, and if you want more Game of Thrones content, please subscribe and check out the Twitter, link in the description below, and as always, have an awesome day.
I've been getting ready. I never knew what for, but I've always known I'd know it when it comes.